What's going on, guys, and welcome back. We just got brand new leaks of new cards coming to Snap, and in my opinion, it is easily the most exciting and probably best cards to ever come. Now, this is better than ever because with the new card acquisition system with Spotlight caches, it's good to know what to get excited for and new cards' expected value so you can start saving and collecting your caches. Now, today we're going to look at August's Season Pass, which has some absolute just bangers. And then we'll also look at both September and October as well. Now, of course, we're going to start with the August Season Pass card in Daken, also known as Wolverine's kind of lost son. And let me tell you, this guy is fire, all right? He's going to be a 3/4, and on reveal, he's going to add a Muramasa shard to your hand. Now, we'll get to what that is in just a moment. This entire Season Pass is kind of based around Wolverine. You have some of his kids, you have like a lover, one of his enemies. It's fire. I think this whole season is going to be pretty sick. And Daken is where we start, guys. Now, the Muramasa shard is going to be a 1/1, and when this is discarded or destroyed, so it's going to go right to your hand, you're going to double Daken's power. Now, first of all, in its own right, that's pretty damn cool, right? But you guys got to start looking into this, all right? First of all, you can get Daken's power higher than what it is currently, and then you can double it. Number two is if you discard it, it costs you nothing to double this guy's power, and there's so many different combos that you can do. Kind of reminds you of Wolverine with the discard or destroy package. Now, obviously, we have some natural combos, right? You can Moon Girl this thing and get multiple of these shards. Maybe get a little Black Panther Arnim Zola makeshift thing here. Cards like Colin Wing are going to be good with Daken. We have MODOK, obviously, as like a last turn play. Killmonger, it's like a new Nova that you can play, especially in Silver Surfer decks. Absolutely ridiculous. I mean, you can Nakia this guy in a Surfer deck. You could just play Forge in any deck. You could play him on Shuri. Like, man, the possibilities for this card is going to be really awesome, and it has me excited about Daken as a whole. I just love that he adds to either destroy or discard, and I think he's going to bring a ton of value to both. He has an on-reveal effect, so you can also do things like Wong. Guys, I don't know. He seems like just a great Season Pass card that's going to fit into, destroy in a really good way. We've seen in the past that cards that need some other cards to destroy and do some combos can be tough. But because he gives something that goes into your hand immediately and that has synergy with Destroy, I see Daken just being an excellent, excellent Season Pass card. And even his main base art here is just so sick. Now, quickly, before the next card, we have a word from today's sponsor. What's going on, guys? Sponsor Cozy here. Today's video is brought to you by Watcher of Realms, a new immersive next-gen RPG where you will partner up with over 100 unique heroes as you build your camp and challenge evil ancient gods. With each stage posing new challenges, commanders must choose the best faction and hero combos from their collections. In combination, you'll utilize spells, skills, and precision timing to defend your position. Now, let's start with the graphics. Watcher of Realms have some stunning visuals and engaging character designs, making it pretty much irresistible to dive into its bleak world and give everything you got to liberate it from the grip of the deranged god. Now, behind every game, there's a good story, and you'll be stepping into the boots of Commander Arion, a fallen soldier resurrected from a fatal clash against the tides of darkness in the noble capital city. You'll face an endless swarm of Envoy's minions, and strategy is your lifeline on the battlegrounds of Watcher of Realms. Now, it's not about just holding the line, but equally retaliating to the Envoy's onslaught. You're going to optimize your forces with a balance of healers, tanks, and attackers from 6 distinct classes of fighters, defenders, marksmen, mages, healers, and rangers. Now, your base is going to evolve as more heroes join your ranks. With over 100 distinct heroes from more than 30 races, you'll create a unique atmosphere in no time. As for the gameplay, if you're new to games or a seasoned veteran, Watcher of Realms is going to have you covered. You'll be able to face the tide of monsters as well as challenge giant dragon bosses, and at the same time, there are interesting PvP modes that allow you to battle with players around the globe. Join us for the game's exciting launch with an awesome event featuring these two top creators in an epic competition. You'll be able to choose the team that you support and participate, and at the same time, you'll have the chance to win an iPhone or Switches. Download it right now through my link in the description. Now, the next card up is Lady Deathstrike, and she's going to be a 5/3 with another on-reveal ability, which says, destroy each card here, so at the location she is played on, with less power than this. Now, right off the bat, guys, I know what you're thinking. Pretty crazy stuff. I think that she's going to have kind of games where she feels absolutely like she won you the game, and then other ones where she kind of feels kind of lackluster. Now, right off the bat, we do have synergy with Daken's shard, so that's kind of cool. But in other Destroy deck cards like Nova and Bucky Barnes, it is retroactive too, so you can get rid of goblins on your side. I think Lady Deathstrike is going to have a lot of kind of uses and or decks that she'll be able to fit into. And then on top of that, with this card, guys, we can boost her up just like Daken. You can Forge, Shuri, you know, Nakia, get that power higher. But at the same time, you are only destroying these kind of lower power cards, which, of course, you know, you have Dracula. You have some of these cards that we can't really destroy otherwise, which is where Lady Deathstrike is probably going to work best. Freaking Rampless, Negative Null, even like Arnim Zola with her. There's going to be a lot of cool uses of her. I think she's probably like the third best card this season, and that says a lot to how strong the season is because she's pretty good. Now, next up is X23. She's a 1/2, and guys, I'm going to be honest. I don't even know if she comes out this way. She seems a little bit too strong. Like, man, Psylocke, goodbye. When you discard or destroy X23, you're going to regenerate her at a random location. And in turn, you're going to get +1 energy your next turn. Like, it's the fact that you can both discard and destroy her. Like, Killmonger, Calling Wing, obviously, Silver Samurai, which we're about to get to. He's the next card. I don't know. I think this is awesome. Anytime you get a new ramp option, she is easily right now the best card in the season pass. There's so many ways to utilize her. Carnage, Venom, Destroy decks. Like what's going on here with Daken and Lady Deathstrike and X23? Oh my god, the archetype is just getting like a complete shift. Like my combo lover brain is just like exploding of doing things like Killmonger, Moon Girling the Shard with X23, and then you Killmonger all of them. You're going to have so much energy at this point. And it's going to make playing Null a lot easier beforehand. And then you can do the Arnim Nola combo. Guys, ridiculous. Now, lastly, we have Silver Samurai, who's going to be a 4/5 with the ability of an on reveal. Each player discards the lowest power card from their hand. So the opposite kind of Calling Wing. Instead of cost, it'll be power. Now, I'll be honest. I think this is the worst card of the month, but he's also being slept on a little bit, right? It's like a Moon Knight with target, right? So obviously we can go after things like Kitty before they get too big. You can get rid of Knowles. You can get rid of Arnim Zolas, Kangs, for the love of God, Iron Man. So a lot of ways to make them get rid of these powerful cards. And then on your side, you can design it to get rid of Swarm. Obviously, Daken, X23. I think he's going to have a place. Stature you can work into. You can do a lot of discard. Having a new targeted discard at all is going to be super healthy for the archetype. I think Silver Samurai is going to bring a lot to discard opposed to the other ones where, you know, I think they're going to get more love in the destroy field, most likely. So yeah, guys, overall, August, absolute just banger of a month. September's Pass, guys, is featuring Loki, and all of these cards I see value in. Now, they're not going to be as probably dramatic for one archetype, but they have a lot of play and tech usage, and let's jump into them. Now, some of you guys have been watching the channel for a very long time know the first time I ever did this new card release kind of video, we found Loki in the data mine. So he's been here for a very long time. He's bounced between different costs and power. We've seen him all over the place. And now we have an official power, we have an official cost and ability. He is our September Season Pass card. That's going to coincide, obviously, with Loki that will be coming out for Season 2. And I think he's got a ton of potential and is a lot of fun. I think he's going to be great. Now, Loki here is on reveal. He's going to replace your hand with cards from your opponent's starting deck, giving all of them -1 cost. Now, he's going to be a 3/4, and you might be thinking, is this going to be that good? You have instant synergy with, let's say, Collector. Quinjet's going to be fantastic with this card. And of course, these are going to cost -1. So you have a way to get these things kind of ramping. Now, you don't know what they are, of course, and so that is going to be troublesome. However, I will say, you can have a good read. I think he's going to reward people that know opponents' decks, and he's going to be kind of this new style of deck, which I was hoping Loki would be. Not like Thanos per se, but somewhat, right? Like you build a deck around how Loki is going to work, and then you try to get the most out of his power. And so, in short, right, you're getting all of their cards, so you know what they're kind of going to do, and then you can play other cards in your deck, like maybe Cable, and then you can build more synergy into the deck that they have. Again, Collector's going to be the best synergized card here, I think, with Loki, and they nailed it. They nailed a fun card that probably rarely wins on regular ladder, which is like just iconic for Loki and his character. But at the same time, I think he's probably going to be a terror in competitive format. Like in Conquest, I think Loki's going to be a very good card, especially once people really find the right deck and other cards to fit with him. Off the top of my head, I like things maybe like Thanos, maybe even Adam Warlock, and a lot of cheap cards to play with Quinjet and the Collector. You want to play as much as you can, get Collector on the board, maybe have Chavez in there too to force the hand, play Loki down, replace your cards, and then go ahead and have a heyday. Now, I want to make sure everybody realizes this says replace, not add. This is not a reverse MODOK. This is going to replace, I think, 1-for-1 in the cards in your hand, right? So probably cheaper cards are going to be the better, but we're going to have to see. All right, now, guys, sit down because Alioth is our next card, and I think this might be the best card in September. It's kind of crazy to even think this card is going to be existing in Snap. Right now, Alioth is a 5/5 with an on-reveal ability of destroy all enemy cards played here this turn. And guys, that's going to include unreveal cards. Like, I don't even know where to start with the possibilities of what this guy is going to bring to Snap. Now, first of all, my first thoughts are you can go like Invisible Woman, and you can play, this is just like a Nova, and let's say a Bucky Barnes, easy examples, and then Alioth, and then you can destroy whatever they might have on that lane. Now, it is an on-reveal card, which, you know, there are ways to counter it, but at the same time, you can also play Absorbing Man. Galactus stuff here is kind of crazy, but even more so, like Arnim Zola. And here's the thing, if you're only losing by, let's say, 4 power, this is a guaranteed way to win a lane. A guaranteed way on turn 6. I think Alioth is going to be a card that is going to be, honestly, healthy, frustrating, crazy. Can't really, man, there's a lot of destroy stuff going on that archetype feels like it's absolute fire. And the Alioth from Loki, won't spoil it. Just cool that they brought this card to the game. I don't even know. Tell me what you guys think. Some combos that I may not be thinking of. Like, it kind of feels like Alioth was meant to just destroy bounce decks, right? Or even in lockdown, like him with Daredevil. If you lock down one lane and then Alioth is played on the other with, I don't know, like a Kitty Pryde, he just seems so good. But also by then, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of different decks. The meta's going to be a lot different, but the scariest thing is that this may not even be the best card this season because we have 2 other ones that I think are quite possibly going to be some of the most universal cards we've seen in a long time. Now, our next card is Owen Wilson, guys. He's going to be a 2/3. Obviously, he's known as Mobius, Mobius. And guys, really, just another banger here. Let me tell you, ongoing effect, your costs cannot be increased on your cards. Your opponent's costs cannot be reduced. Hot damn, we have a counter. We have a counter for Sarah, for Zabu, for Beast. Now, and it's funny because, you know, I know things need to be nerfed and adjusted during their time in the meta, but sometimes it makes sense why things don't get addressed right away because there's kind of answers around the corner. Mobius might be one of the new best tech cards. He's like a Luke Cage in reverse, right? Iceman, all that RNG, locations, Dream Dimension, don't have to worry about it. And not only that, that's just like a little extra cherry on top. You're completely teching out against these decks that are designed to try and reduce their cost. Now, a lot of people might ask about Wave. I think Wave supersedes everything, right? There's nothing you can do against Wave, I think. And I think Mobius is going to be in line with that. I just think, honestly, guys, Mobius might be one of the more exciting, not only tech cards, but he does a lot. There's a lot of builds around this. There's a lot of ways to incorporate him into different decks. September, to me, feels like a season where you can plug in a lot of these cards into a wide variety of decks. And lastly, of course, it's Loki. We have Ravonna, Renslayer, guys, and she is going to be a 3/3 with an ongoing ability. This is great with the whole Mobius. Your cards with 1 or less power cost 1 less. Now, guys, why this is so crazy, right, is Miss Minutes and Ravonna. Look at all these cards that are now going to be able to be, again, discounted. We know that energy reduction is massive. Obviously, Mobius is going to be a natural counter. But look at these cards that are all going to be under that 1 power threshold, right? There's more than you kind of think about when you first, at first thought, I guess. Mr. Negative, Kitty Pryde, obviously Sunspot, a lot of the 1-cost cards. Adam Warlock. She's a 3-cost. You can play her down pretty early. I mean, Bounce Stacks, Mobius, Cerebro, Ironheart. And this is just like at the tip of the iceberg. Mystique, Darkhawk, Dracula, Iron Man, of course. She's got to have synergy with Kang. Taskmaster, Arnim Zola, Null. Even the 1-cost down here, guys. Like, this is going to create a brand new archetype, in my opinion. Ravonna Renslayer is another card that is going to just introduce a new kind of play style to Marvel Snap. And is yet like another candidate of being maybe the best card that we've talked about yet. Like, if you haven't been sold on here, I'm going to say one more thing, right? If you have Ravonna plus Sarah, you have the ability to play a line like Iron Man for 3 costs, followed by Mystique, followed by Hitmonkey, and Mysterio, all on just turn 6. So, again, I think that, buckle up. Like, maybe I'm just too gassed up, but, like, don't these seem insane? September just is one of the most excited I've been about Marvel. I love Loki. It's probably my favorite Disney Plus show. And then these cards to boot with, like, perfect just flavor to the cards. I'll use that word again. Man, just color me pumped. Now, lastly, guys, these are really far off. They're not confirmed all the way, but we do have a look into October. And we don't know what all these cards do, but I'm going to go ahead and list some of them off. We have Elsa Bloodstone, who is a 1/1. And at the end of each turn, if you're winning this location, she's going to gain +1 power. So really cool and unique card. That's going to work with a lot of decks out there. This has been in the game for a while, and so I do expect her ability to stay. I think Elsa is a very fun card against some of the other 1-cost that we have and should fit in perfectly. Next up, we have Black Knight. Lo and behold, even more destroy synergy. When this is destroyed, you'll be able to draw a card. Obviously, card draw is absolutely massive. If this stays, it's going to find its way in plenty of decks with different combos and just more reliability outside of something like Crystal that obviously is not played. And then, of course, as you guys know, card draw, just very rare in Marvel Snap. So another card that does that. And what I love is that we have a card now that works with X23. You have, like, Destroy being able to get energy, card draw. But if you keep him on the board, he's got a card called Ebony Blade. And this is so cool. So if you don't destroy him, this card kind of goes along with it. And it will, in turn, destroy the highest power or powered cards on the opponent's side. So really cool card. You know, obviously a ton could change here, but nice to see the early concepts. Also in the month, we have Werewolf by Night. There's not a lot here on the card, but we do have a little bit of a, at least an idea of what the card is going to be. And Man Thing. Now, again, this is a 4/6 as of now. Of course, October is always filled with, like, horror and creepy, even here in Marvel Snap. So this was a good look on what will be coming in the months to come. It's just always so damn fun looking at the new cards. And I told you, these seasons just look so good. And as always, I want you guys to let me know down below, what did I miss? Like, what are some crazy synergies out there that maybe I didn't talk about? And out of all the months between August, September, and then obviously even October, what are you most excited about? What card in particular and or month? Anyway, guys, I want to thank you for spending your time hanging out. Hopefully you enjoy these new card videos. And as always, until the next one, if you enjoy your time here, go ahead and subscribe down below. And happy snapping.